I knew the moment I picked up the phone that something wasn't right. Are you mocking us? What is this amount? My father's voice exploded through the receiver, harsh and disbelieving. I froze, the phone pressing tighter against my ear, unsure if I was hearing things. What was he talking about? The line crackled, his words breaking through the static like shards of glass. What is this 50 cents you're sending every month? That's all you've been sending? 50 cents. My throat tightened. I hadn't sent 50 cents. I had sent $4,000. Dad, there's been some mistake. I've been sending $4,000 each month just like I promised. Every month. For the last year, I said, my voice steady despite the confusion clouding my mind. But his response was a sharp laugh, one that made my skin crawl. What? Don't lie, Lena. Mia sends us $44,000 every month. You're giving us 50 cents? You should be ashamed of yourself. I stumbled backward, my heart thudding painfully in my chest. What? Mia? 44,000. My mind reeled. No, that couldn't be true. I had spoken to Mia just a week ago, and she hadn't mentioned anything about sending them money, let alone that much. Mia is smart, Lena, my father continued, his voice thick with disappointment. She's doing well for herself. She's actually doing something. And what are you doing? Sitting in your little apartment, enjoying your life while we're struggling here. How could you treat us like this? The words felt like a slap. I had always tried to be the daughter they could rely on, to send money each month to ease the burden they seemed to carry in silence. But now it felt like I was invisible, like none of it mattered. I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing came out. My mother's voice joined the conversation, a soft sigh laced with frustration, her words cutting through the silence like a knife. You never even think about us. We're just here. But Mia, she cares. She's giving us so much. She's successful. She's taking care of us. What about you, Lena? When was the last time you sent us anything? Why do we always have to ask you? I felt my face flush, the sting of their words sinking deep into my skin. Mia, the golden child. Mia, the one who could do no wrong. Mia, who could do anything and have everything while I was just Lena. I don't understand. I finally whispered, the words leaving my mouth barely louder than a breath. I have been sending money. Every month. Why do you think I'm sending you only 50 cents? But there was no response. Just the sound of their muffled voices arguing with each other on the other end. The phone slipped from my hand, landing with a soft thud on the table. How could they believe something like that? How could they think I, was sending them nothing? I had been doing everything I could to support them, even if it meant scraping by in my small, dingy apartment while Mia was off living her glamorous life. I tried to push it all away, but the words echoed in my mind, relentless. Why don't you learn a little from your sister? She sends us so much money. She cares. I didn't care about the money. I never had. But hearing it now, hearing them belittle me like this, it felt like the final blow in a war I hadn't even known I was fighting. I turned the phone off and sank back into the chair, tears stinging at the corners of my eyes. The room felt suffocating, the weight of it all pressing down on me until I could barely breathe. I wasn't supposed to feel this way. I was Lena, the daughter who could never live up to her sister, the one who was always overlooked, always dismissed. Even as a child, Mia had been the star. When we were little, it wasn't just the clothes that set us apart. It wasn't just the lessons that Mia got to take while I was left to figure things out on my own. It was everything. Mia was beautiful, captivating. Everything that my parents had dreamed of. People couldn't help but turn their heads when she walked by, adults fawning over her with their praise. Such a cute little thing. She's going to be famous one day, I just know it. They'd say, their smiles wide, their voices warm. And then there was me. I was plain, ordinary, forgettable. My mother would always say, asterisk, "Oh, Lena, you have such a nice face. So sweet. Just not as striking as Mia's." Asterisk, as if that was supposed to make me feel better. As if it wasn't clear that I was the second choice, the afterthought, the one who didn't matter quite as much. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this life where I was always in Mia's shadow. But there was no escaping it. Not at home, not at school, not in my own skin. Now at 28, nothing had changed. I was still just Lena. It didn't matter how hard I worked, how many hours I spent at the food processing plant, how many sacrifices I made. I was never enough. I would never be enough. Not when Mia was the perfect daughter. Not when Mia was the one sending $44,000 home each month, while I couldn't even get my own parents to believe that I was trying. I stared out the window, the world outside a blur of muted colors. What had I been doing all these years? What was the point of sending money every month, of sacrificing my own happiness for their approval, if they didn't even see it? I needed answers. And somehow I knew I wouldn't find them by just sitting here. There was something I didn't know about this story. Something about Mia. Something about the money. Something they weren't telling me. I couldn't keep living like this. I had to find out the truth, and no matter what it cost me. The next few days were a blur of confusion and frustration. I kept replaying the conversation with my parents over and over in my head, unable to shake the sting of their accusations. Mia, my perfect sister, was sending them $44,000 every month, and I was barely managing to scrape by with my own life. I had always known they favored Mia, but this was something else. The numbers, the money. Asterisk 44,000 asterisk. It didn't add up. It didn't make sense. I had to find out more. I needed to understand where this money was coming from, why my parents believed I was sending so little, and how Mia could possibly have that much to give. Mia and I had never been close. After all, we were 5 years apart, and I had always felt like I was trying to catch up with her, trying to get a little piece of the attention she effortlessly commanded. But that didn't mean I didn't care about her. If anything, it made me care more. I had tried to support her through the years, even when I felt overshadowed by her beauty, her talent, her charm. But now I had to know. What had Mia been hiding from me? Why had she never told me she was sending such ridiculous amounts of money to our parents? It took me 2 days to finally work up the courage to call her. I had been avoiding her for a while. I knew there would be awkwardness in our conversation. She had always been the center of attention, always effortlessly graceful, while I was just the background. But now it was different. There was a gulf between us, a question that needed answering. The phone rang twice before Mia answered. "Lena? What's up?" Her voice was light, casual, like everything was fine. Like we hadn't just had a blowout with our parents, like she wasn't being painted as some sort of saint while I was being accused of neglecting my family. "Mia." I started, keeping my voice even. "What's going on? Why are Mom and Dad saying you're sending them $44,000 every month?" There was a pause, a long one that I felt a twinge of panic. She wasn't saying anything. "Lena, I don't know what you mean," Mia finally said, her voice dropping to a more guarded tone. "I'm not sending them that much money." I exhaled slowly. My stomach twisted. "But that's what they said. They're upset with me because they think I'm only sending 50 cents, and they're telling me you're sending them all this money. 44,000 every month. Why would they say that if it wasn't true?" Mia sighed. "Lena, listen. It's complicated, okay? Complicated." That was all she had to say. I pressed on. "What do you mean complicated? Mom and Dad think you're sending them money every month, and I'm the one who looks like I don't care. Why didn't you ever tell me about this? What's going on?" Another silence. Then a hesitant reply. I didn't want you to feel. Well, I didn't want you to feel bad. You're already doing so much, working all those hours. I didn't want to make you feel like you couldn't keep up or that I was somehow better than you. You know how they are. Her words, though meant to comfort, only confused me more. What do you mean better? What are you talking about, Mia? The line went silent again, and for the first time, I heard something unfamiliar in her voice, a slight tremor, as if she was trying to hold something back. Mia, tell me, I demanded, please. What's going on? She hesitated before answering, and when she spoke again, her tone had shifted, becoming almost defensive. Okay, fine. Maybe I've been sending them money, but not in the way you think. I'm not sending them $44,000 every month. I'm sending them a little more than $1,000, but I've been getting money from other sources. What other sources? My heart started to race. I'm not proud of it, she admitted softly. I've been modeling. Not just regular stuff. Fine, Lena. Things I didn't want you to know about. The fashion world it's a lot. There's a lot of money and I fell into it. Fast. And yeah, I've been sending money home because I know Mom and Dad rely on it. They've always depended on me to make things better. But I don't know. I didn't think you'd understand. I felt the blood drain from my face. What are you saying? You're saying you're doing what to get money? Mia's voice trembled, but she didn't back down. I didn't want to, Lena, but it was either that or get stuck in a rut. The money's there, and I didn't know what else to do. I felt sick. You're saying you're using your body to get money. You're selling yourself. No, Mia snapped, her voice harsh now. I'm not selling myself. I'm using what I have to make money. The industry is corrupt, but it's not as black and white as you think. You wouldn't get it. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, but the money is real, Lena, and it's been enough to help out Mom and Dad. I was trembling. My sister, my beautiful, perfect sister, was involved in a world I couldn't even begin to comprehend. It felt like a betrayal of everything I thought I knew about her, about our family. I don't know what to say, I whispered. I thought you were doing things the right way, Mia. This isn't right. I know, she replied quietly. I know it's not. But it's complicated. I never wanted you to be part of this. I never wanted you to see me like this. I didn't know what to say to her. What was there to say? My whole life had been spent trying to be good enough in their eyes, and now here was Mia, offering them money in a way I could never have imagined. And it wasn't just the money. It was the way she'd lied to me, how she'd kept it from me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to understand, but all I could manage was a soft, broken whisper. I have to go. I hung up before she could respond. I spent the rest of the evening sitting in my apartment, staring at the walls. The truth was like a heavy weight, a lump in my throat that refused to be swallowed. I didn't know what to do with this information. Mia was trapped in something I couldn't fix. And worse, I had been so wrapped up in my own struggle to get their approval that I hadn't even seen what was happening right in front of me. What would happen now? What could I do? I had spent years comparing myself to her, trying to match her brilliance, her beauty, her success. But now everything felt different. I wasn't just competing with Mia. I was trying to outrun the shadows she had cast, trying to find my own place in a world where everything I had believed in was suddenly gone. I didn't know what the next step would be, but I knew one thing for sure. I couldn't live in the dark any longer. Not about Mia, not about our family, Not about anything that I had to find my own truth. And I had to do it alone.